Hey guys, it's Steven over KR Motorsports. This is the software side of the Compushift here. So I had to break out my old Android phone because I tried to screen record this on my current phone and obviously didn't work out. So this is an older version of the app. The newer app it's mostly the same, but it's probably a bit more streamlined. But so this is the app right here. This is what you see. Now keep in mind that if you watch the install video, we talk about how CAN bus is set up. So remember that most of the data or actually all the data that's engine related is coming from the CAN bus. So the app is connected via Bluetooth here. And so if you look at the throttle position, this is normal. The car's drive-by-wire, so it's never going to be zero, but you can see that it's changing there. And this data is coming from CAN bus. Now, a couple things here that I want to go over, if I can get this dang thing to focus. So as you can see, it's in neutral. It doesn't actually show park. It's actually in park right now, but if I move the gear shift, you can see that in the app it's changing. So we're gonna put that there. So you've got shift mode here. That's auto, and that's literally like you put it in drive and go. You can actually manually shift this, so you can add a switch to put it to manual mode and with paddle shifters, and I'll show you that in a second. And then so this right here, calibration A, there's actually two sets of calibrations. You can have like your normal daily driver, and then you can have a B mode, which is like your sport mode here. So we're gonna go through and look at a couple other things here. So this is you see up here it says ECU Masters Black CAN. That's the ECU that we're using. So you can actually account for this stuff here. So you change your rear end, you change your tire diameter, vehicle weight, speedo output. So we don't have speedo output on this car. There's not really a need for it because speed is read through the ABS sensors on this car. But if you're doing a swap or something like that and you need to drive a speedometer, you can do that there. Low range switch, we don't have that because we're not a truck, but it is there. We're gonna go to engine setup here, which is gonna show nothing because it's CAN bus. We're gonna go to shift speed setup. So here in this menu, you can tune this on the fly. So you can actually tell it when to upshift and when to downshift, and you can change it on the fly. So so if you need to hold a gear a little bit longer, or you needed a downshift sooner, it's all done here. We're going to go to, and this is, going back to this. So this is based off of speed, okay? Engine speed, that is. Then we've got the shift control setup. So if you need a little bit more pressure, like you're starting to slip in a certain gear, then you can control it all here, okay? So I'm not going to go into this. It's all documented. And you should, honestly, before you're playing with this stuff, you kind of need a little bit of a firm understanding of it before you start messing with this type of stuff. And this is basically like the manual mode type setup here. You can enable it and disable it. I normally don't really excuse me, I normally don't really mess with this stuff, but it is here. Diagnostics. So in here you can actually look to see if your switch is working, your speed is working, and all that type of stuff here. Again, this is CAN bus, so we're basically, most of our diagnostics is going to be here with the CAN receive and whatnot. So if you're looking at it, we're going to go back to our dashboard here. So remember how I said that we could manually shift this car? So if you look over here, this is not wired up, but it is nothing crazy. There's one wire that's a common wire. There's a mode select wire, and then there's an up and down wire. So bear with me, guys, because I don't remember what's what. White is common, and then white red is upshift, white black is downshift. So the white wire is the common wire. Oops. Try the screen back on here, and white red is downshift. So if you look, we're going to take white, red, and white, and we're going to look at the screen, and we're going to tap them together. I think. Oh, I guess I should take it out of park first here. But as you can see, I hit the white-red wires together, and then it went to switch mode and went up a gear. We're going to tap it again, and there's third, and then there's fourth. So the only downside with this is that you have to wait a little bit, and once you wait, it'll actually go back to auto mode. But the car actually has to be running. We've got this car apart because we found so many things wrong with the turbo setup, so it's not running. And then I'm going to tap these two wires here, which is the common and black wire, and you'll see it's going to downshift there, maybe. Nope. Sorry, that was, I know it's a little hard to focus, but that's essentially it right there. So that's the beauty of the Compushift. It's a really good setup. I mean, there are other ECUs out there that will do A340. A340 is a really, really simple trans. It's nothing crazy. But there's a lot of ECUs out there that will do A340 control. But if you have an ECU that does not, like the EMU Black here, this is a really good setup. And we actually used this setup well before we were doing standalone ECU tuning here. So it's nothing new. This is probably our 5th or 6th one over the years that we've used. We don't get a lot of A340 guys here, but it is a really good setup. It is really simple. It takes a lot of the guesswork out. Their base map is actually really, really good. I found myself tweaking the actual base map just a hair, you know, to hold out the RPMs a little bit longer. Sometimes, like, we get cars that will slip a little bit in first gear, and we can add a little bit more line pressure, and then that will do the trick. So I just wanted, since we already done the hardware, I wanted to go over the software setup. That way, you know, people can kind of see what's going on. What's really upsetting about this software sometimes is, you know, when you buy it, you can't connect it and play around with it. So, you know, I wanted to show you guys what it looked like, you know, from that end. But overall, it's a pretty simple setup. I really enjoy it. I think it's a good setup. But again, like I said, if you're looking to buy an ECU and a trans control, you know, something like a Max ECU or, you know, even like a Fuel Tech, and, you know, we'll have to talk about that in a different video. But, you know, either one of those ECUs will do the trick. But yeah, if you're interested in getting a Compushift or ECU Masters, Fuel Tech, or even a Max ECU, let us know.